Okay, so let's look at how the experiment is done. Because I have a 2 1/4 microfarad capacitor here, I've selected the box to be 2. So let's turn to 2. So they're almost equally matched. And the next thing is to see how much the supply voltage is. So what I'll do is I'll see the supply voltage on the top, and in the middle is this side, and bottom is the other side. So if I move this middle, which is this box, connect this to top, and this should charge up the box to whatever voltage that's on the power supply. So let's make sure the power supply has about 10 volts. I'll turn down the power supply, making sure it is the low voltage power supply. And I see roughly 10 volts there. So I'll also turn on the voltmeter. Let's see, should be plugged in across this. Okay, so if your voltmeter is not reading anything, chances are the zero was locked. So you touch the little toggle switch to open, and you'll be able to show your voltage. And at the moment, I can see on my screen that well, on my voltmeter, that is exactly 10 volts. So that's the starting point. If it's not, adjust it carefully to get to 10 volts. All right. So I'm charging up this capacitor to 10 volts. So if you look at the steps, so step one, put S2, S1 into the B position. You want to basically discharge. So let's put it to B position. So this is A position, and let's do B position. And I still see about 5 volts. So we'll discharge. Okay, so this is making sure that neither the unknown nor the known capacitor had any charge to start with. So this is always useful, especially if you charged it up before. So that's step one, you're discharging it. And step one and step two, so discharging it for a few seconds. And step three, throw this over to the A position, which is my up and your right position. Okay, so the capacitor has charged up and 10 volts. So we want to wait for a moment. All right. So what the step says, okay, so the once you go over here, um, record the voltage, apparently 10 volts. I'll record that because I already adjusted it to 10. Don't have to um, record this every time. And then step 4 is to throw this S1 to B. So back here, which means the voltage over here will be dropped, and charges will flow into the unknown capacitor. The voltage will drop. So we want to immediately read that value as soon as the needle on the voltmeter stabilizes. Otherwise, there's still going to be some slight amount of further discharge, not due to the known capacitor charging the unknown. So let's be ready, and maybe it helps me at least to get the wires out of the way of the switch S1. Okay, so I get those out of the way. I can twist them a little. They don't want to go where they want to go. You twist them a little, let them go outward. That one over there, you can twist that a little bit. Okay, so now I have a clear access to the switch. So I'll switch over to B and read the voltage right away. Immediately goes to roughly 4.95, maybe 4.9, close to 5. Let's read 5 because I didn't really place my voltmeter in the best position for reading. I'm placing it in the best position to record. So I see a 5 volt. All right. So I'll record it, and then I'll be able to discharge. I press this button, the voltage discharges to 0. So I'll write down the 5 volts. And the range that the voltage is supposed to drop into is between 1/2 and 1/3. So maybe the 5 volt is just too close to the 1/2. If you want the 1/3, you can certainly select the decade capacitor to 1 microfarad. So let's try that. We'll we'll keep discharging. Okay, I'll discharge right back to the step. Make sure it's on B and discharge with that push button push down, and we'll charge it again to 10 volts. Wait for a few moments, charge out to 10 volts, and then you flip it and use the charge to charge the capacitor unknown. Okay, so now it's actually a little over 1/3 because I can read 3.3 volts. Okay, I read 3.3 volts. Okay, this time I'm happy. At least I got a 5 volt and 3.3 volt for two different values of known capacitor. I can calculate back the unknown capacitor. So that's what this part is. And then I can discharge the known and unknown capacitor. So now it's time to switch to another unknown capacitor, which is a 5.6. So you should be changing the known capacitor to match it, roughly a 5, right? So over here, make sure it's discharged. Very unlikely that this capacitor still had any charge, but helps to make sure. Let go of that, and then you charge up the known capacitor, but you want it to be maybe 5 because 5.6 is the value we're supposed to find out on. And we'll charge a 5 microfarad up to 10 volts. Give it a few moments. Needle will indicate 10 volts. And then flip to the B side to charge the unknown capacitor and read the value of the voltage again. Here we go. Little less than 5. So 4.8 volts. I think that's good enough between a half and third. 4.8 volts, I'm using a 5 microfarad. Okay, so now this is also done. I'll discharge this. Okay, done. So what I'll have to do next is to have the two unknown capacitors in series to make a new capacitor, and also the two unknown capacitors in parallel to make another unknown capacitor. So I'll cover that in a separate video.